You ever feel like your focus is, I don't know, a kite in a hurricane, just constantly being tossed around, totally impossible to control? Well, it turns out this isn't some new modern problem. Not at all. Humanity's been wrestling with this for thousands of years, and today we're going to dive into some ancient wisdom that gives us a surprisingly clear diagnosis for our very modern, very distracted minds. I mean, really, why is it so hard to just stay locked in, to have that resolute determination you need to actually get things done? We all know that feeling, right? You start a project, you're full of passion, and then poof, something just pulls you away. So, what is that something? Well, the answer we're going to explore today comes from a pretty unexpected place, a 2,000-year-old Sanskrit text, the Bhagavad Gita, and what it says about the nature of distraction. It feels like it could have been written this morning, just for us. So what's the diagnosis? According to the Gita, it's not just some vague distraction. Nope. It pinpoints two very specific, very powerful things that just completely derail our focus. Okay, so the text identifies these two things. The first one is called bhoga. And this is basically our attachment to material and sensory enjoyment. You know, in our world, think about the endless doom scroll on your phone, or that constant craving for the next cool gadget. That's bhoga. And then there's aiśvarya. This is all about the attachment to opulence and status, that relentless chase for more likes, more followers, more validation. The key thing here is, these aren't just things we like. They're powerful attachments. Now, here's the crucial part. The problem isn't enjoying things or even having stuff. The text is really clear about this. The issue only pops up when we become too attached to them. It's that excessive attachment that acts, well, like a thief. It literally steals our mind away from whatever it is we're trying to focus on. Okay, so what happens when our mind gets stolen like that? Let's dig into the direct consequence, what these attachments actually do to our mental state. And the core verse here is, well, it's pretty direct. It says that for people who are too attached to all this enjoyment and opulence and who are bewildered by it all, that resolute determination, it just does not happen. It cannot take place. I mean, that's a stark warning, right? The text isn't just saying it's harder to focus, it's saying for a mind that's caught in this trap, true determination is straight up impossible. There's actually a specific Sanskrit term for the state of mind, apahṛta-cetasām. And what that means is basically a mind that's been carried away, or bewildered, or stolen. See, it's not just that you're a little distracted, it's more like your mind is fundamentally disoriented, being pulled in a million different directions by all these attachments. So you can really see the chain reaction here, right? It's a clear path. Step 1, you get attached to enjoyment and opulence. That's the bhoga and aiśvarya. Step 2, this attachment leads directly to that bewildered mind we were just talking about. And then step 3, a mind that's bewildered just can't achieve that resolute determination. It's a simple and kind of scary 3-step breakdown. All right, so we've diagnosed the problem pretty clearly. But what's the flip side? What exactly are we being locked out of? What's this goal state of mind that all these distractions are keeping us from? I mean, that's the real question, right? What even is this resolute determination, this fixed mind? What would that feel like? And why should we even care? Why is it so valuable? Well, the text gives this state a name. Samadhi. And the definition from a Vedic dictionary, the Nirukti, is, wow, it's incredibly insightful. It says, Samadhi isn't just about concentrating on your to-do list. It's when the mind is fixed for understanding the self. In other words, this isn't just about focus. It's a state of deep, unwavering connection to your purpose, to your true self. So, to put it another way, Samadhi is just a state of a controlled, fixed, steady mind. And as that Gita verse made crystal clear, this state is completely impossible to reach for someone whose mind is constantly being carried away by temporary things. You just can't have both. The two are mutually exclusive. Okay, let's bring this all home. What does this 2,000-year-old insight really mean for us, right now, living in what is probably the most distracting world in all of human history? Let's tie it all together. So the formula is actually pretty simple, and it's absolutely timeless. Our attachment to pleasure and status, you know, our modern versions of bhoga and aiśvarya, that leads to a bewildered mind. And that bewildered state, it directly blocks us from ever reaching samadhi, that state of true, fixed determination that I think we're all looking for. And this is the really crucial point. If you struggle with focus, what this ancient text is suggesting,
is that it might not be a failure of your willpower. I think so many of us beat ourselves up, right? Thinking, oh, I'm just not disciplined enough. But what if we're just misdiagnosing the problem entirely?
Because from this point of view, a lack of focus isn't the core problem. It's just a symptom. It's a symptom of a mind that's fundamentally tangled up, pulled away by its deep attachments to fleeting pleasures and external validation. So, you see, the problem isn't a weak will, it's the strength of our attachments. So, I want to leave you with a question to think about. If you look at your own life through this ancient lens, what are your personal forms of bhoga and aiśvarya? What are those specific, modern distractions that are pulling your mind away from your purpose?